On the 29th of July 1994, The Mask, the legendary comedy based on the comic book series of the same name, was released. The director of the film, Chuck Russell, said that he originally envisioned The Mask as a rather violent horror film, with very naturalistic and graphic scenes of violence, and lots of blood and gore. The Mask was supposed to make its wearer insane and bloodthirsty. The main hero should have become another Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. The script was revised several times, and eventually the director settled on a comedy film. And as Stanley Ipkiss, he saw only Jim Carrey. It was the most successful year in Jim's life, with 3 of his best comedies being released at the same time: Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, which automatically made him Hollywood's #1 comedian. Originally, for the role of seductive nightclub singer Tina Carlisle, they wanted to invite the first dark-skinned Miss America, Vanessa Williams. They also considered the star of Playboy, Anna Nicole Smith. But in the end, the role was assigned to the fashion model Cameron Diaz. She auditioned 12 times before she managed to convince the director that she should get the role. She had no acting education, no experience in filming, but her smile was fascinating. Her sincerity, charm, and naturalness gave head start to many professional actresses. So she was approved just 1 week before the filming started. The casting of the other actors was much easier. The stylish bandit Dorian Tyler, Tina's villainous lover and the main villain of the film, was played by an aspiring actor, Peter Green, who also starred as Zed in Pulp Fiction. Originally, the British actor Gary Camp had been considered for the role. The filming started on the 30th of August 1993 and ended in October of the same year. In the director's cut, the film begins with a prologue, showing the arrival in the 11th century of a Viking ship in the future North America. The Vikings went ashore, buried a chest containing the mask of the god Loki, and sailed home in a hurry. The mask was molded from silicone to the shape of Jim Carrey's face. The makeup of the actor required 2 hours every day. Similar masks, but simpler, were made for the doubles of Carrey. The large plastic teeth were made only for a couple of scenes, but Jim Carrey managed to handle them so well that it was decided to keep them in many shots. The film was a breakthrough not only for the actors who played the lead roles. The Mask was also unique because it combined computer animation with natural-looking footage. The computer graphics were done by ILM and 3D CGI artists from DreamQuest. All makeup elements were 3D scanned in order for the resulting models to be later used for computer animation. Interesting fact: all the computer scenes were animated by hand, without the use of motion capture technology. This was really a very long and hard work. Physical special effects were used to make the graphics and live models look well together. The scene where Stanley Ipkiss puts on the mask for the first time, spinning around the room like a whirligig, masterfully combines animation and real objects. To make the effect of the main character's crazy spinning look realistic and impressive, the CGI masters put the puppet on the drill bit. At the beginning of the scene, Jim Carrey entered the scene against the chroma key background and started spinning. And in post-production his movements were captured by the animators. The rings of spinning were rendered with refraction around Jim's low polygon model. But the most difficult scene was when Mask creates various animal figures out of inflatable balloon and a Thompson submachine gun at the end. The animators first tried to put these things in the actors' hands, but it turned out to be very difficult to do. After struggling for a couple of weeks, they gave up and created a full-fledged model of Jim Carrey, making the entire scene on the computer. Of particular interest is also the episode in the Coco Jumbo Club, when Stanley Ipkiss's head turns into a dog's head, and his heart flies out of his chest. This proved to be very hard work for the animators. They managed to substitute the actor's head with a 3-dimensional model that underwent all the transformations. ILM was the first studio to ever produce such an effect. Here's a great example of the combination of plastic makeup and computer animation in one shot. The scene with the swallowing of dynamite. The dynamite and the lower part of the face are 3D, and everything above is Jim Carrey's real head. Originally, the protagonist's dog Milo, his actual name by the way was Max, was supposed to be but a minor character in the movie. But the trained terrier turned out to be so clever and charming that he became one of the main characters. For that very reason, towards the end of the movie, Milo even puts on the mask for a while and helps his master to fight the bandits. The scene where the mask deals with gangsters was partly improvised by Jim Carrey himself. While showing the magic trick to the gangsters, Carrey's character reached into his pocket for a balloon, but pulled out a condom, and with the words "sorry, wrong pocket," threw it away. Initially, this episode was not in the script, but the creators liked the improvised joke so much that they decided to keep it in the final cut. Professional stuntmen were hired to perform a spectacular dance in a nightclub. Besides, the Irish singer Susan Boyd sings for Cameron Diaz in the movie. In the nightclub, Jim Carrey portrays a wolf excited by the sight of a spectacular girl. This is a direct parody of 1943 cartoon Little Red Riding Hood. The tandem of Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz knocked the audience dead. The film, with a budget of $23 million, made more than $350 million worldwide. Since Jim was not a high-paid star at the time, his paycheck was $450,000. For comparison's sake, for his next movie, Dumb and Dumber, the actor received no less than $7 million. The Mask has even been nominated for an Oscar for Best Visual Effects, but lost to Forrest Gump. In 2005, a sequel titled Son of the Mask was released, but with a different cast. It completely failed at the box office, and is considered to be one of the worst expensive projects in Hollywood history. And this is all for today, guys. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget about likes and comments. Thank you for watching.